advice I've been given, without a doubt, which was from Richard Watson, your mailing list is your money.
Join us as we explore one of Leeds' finest and defining characteristics of the city, the music industry. In this film, we'll be looking at the music generated by the creative individuals around Leeds and the production techniques used by experts who turn visions into reality.
Alright, there's something wrong with this plot. The actors here have lied.
Oh, what you gonna say now, darling? Know what you gonna do now, darling, now?
Music all night on BBC Radio Leeds. Next, homegrown tunes. BBC introducing West Yorkshire.
People still talk about breaking into the music industry. I don't think it's like that anymore. I think the music industry isn't something you need to break into anymore. You know, we don't have to get an open top bus and park it outside a record company's door in London and play on the roof of it. Although it's probably still make a good video. But everyone can now be part of the music industry. The music industry has become, like I said before, it's become a much more level playing field. The means to produce are in the hands of the artist, which is fabulous, and it's a whole new world. And that's where it should be, really.
But I'm forever trying to find your way home.
I think there's a bit of a unsaid rule in the industry, and it's one that I tell a lot of artists. 20% talent, 80% business. You can be highly talented and very good at what you're doing, but if you don't know how to set yourself forward and how to let people know that you exist and promote yourself and market yourself, you know, there's many different ways to develop yourself in the industry. If you don't get involved in that and embrace it and learn it, well, you could just be playing gigs forever and a day, hoping that somebody's going to come along and discover you, which is pretty unlikely.
Well, originally me and Sam met at uni, and kind of through other bands formed this one. And obviously me and John are brothers, and the other guy, the other two guys, one of them's our younger brother as well, plays keyboard. So we've always played together in bands. And when the other band broke up, we decided to, well, me and Sam decided to enlist these guys
to keep it going
from the ashes of the others.
Well, it started off as in an old band, not to talk too much about them, but in a band called the Landaus, and Chris was the drummer in them, I was the songwriter and guitarist in them, and basically once that band we'd done quite a lot with that band, and toured with quite a few decent bands, played a few good gigs, Leeds Festival, and went around with Kasabian, did a bit of a tour with Palanatini. Chris was there all the time with me, playing the drums for the band, and once it kind of dissolved, we got Gary involved, and obviously we give us the benefit of garage production as well, getting that involved, and then Peter Priest got involved, put some keys to it, and then Emily came, which was in August, and I think the band's, every member that's come in, as they've come in, has played a big part in increasing the sound or making it better, because it works for us really well, so everyone's brought a different piece to the table.
Typical thing where we've been drawn in it loads of times. We played at the Academy in Birmingham. We went down there and this company were like, right, you've got to pay us for your tickets. And we're like, we had loads of people come down, but like we had to pay up front, and it's that kind of like pay to play thing that you just need to avoid.
Yeah.
And like we've got caught. We got caught by that.
My biggest
before.
bit of advice to any new unsigned band: avoid doing any pay to play stuff unless you've got the fans to come to the gig. Facebook and Twitter spamming at present.
Yeah, we've just got into Twitter really, like, I didn't even realise you could like tag people and things till recently. That's brilliant. You just tag magazines and reviewers and stuff and they just come down.
We did that thing and put all those posters around the drums and that, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, That's a good thing about Leeds actually, you don't get any other city in England. They have those drums everywhere. You've seen them with the band. Like, you don't have them anywhere. I think there's a few in Manchester, but there's like 200. This guy called Richard who does it, and you just go to see him, and he's like, he was there with us like, oh, I'll put yours up. I'll put 150 round. You go, I've just got to put U2's up first.
The Seagulls are a relatively new band to me. I had them in session, and that's only once, and it was fairly recently. It was the first time I had them in live, and they did a very good job of it. Impressed me, really. And we had quite a few people getting in touch on Twitter that night during the show, saying things like they're the new Beatles and that kind of thing.
Our next thing is to get on with a band to tour with. Really, we're looking for a band that we can get on. But like, we don't have any management or a label because we do it all ourselves, which like often holds us back a little bit.
Yeah, it's
like
a good and a bad thing in that it takes us longer to do things because you've got to be really motivated to make sure things get done. But on the flip side of that, we've kind of got a lot of control over what we do and where we play.
Landau is a very talented lad. He's on a bit of a mission, really. It's a difficult one for him because really he's trying to make his late grandfather happy. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm sure a lot of spiritual people would say that is, and I'd like to think so. So somewhere his granddad is smiling because his granddad left him a beautiful vintage guitar and a few quid, and says, focus on your music career and get serious about it, and carry on the family tradition.
My grandfather was a big part of my music life from the start. He left me a guitar. He gave me that, as one of his last words, and said, wanted to carry it on because it had been sat there for 30 years in his room and he'd already played accordion. So he wanted me to carry on playing it and not to be sat there. And obviously we came back and I wrote 45, and I think a lot of the lyrics in that are based on influences that I've had from them, and to come back and to do it again and to have another crack at it. So he has played a big part in that as well as the rest of my family.
45 reasons to believe, 45 reasons to get high, 45 reasons to stay alive, 45 reasons to lie. Think you've got the best of me, there's nothing you can take from me, calling you out at your last shout, this roof will set fire. Can't find your way, nothing left for today, just hanging on for tomorrow, for 45 days.
Bands like Mumford & Sons, I really appreciate them, because what they've done is they've brought folk back into the scene and back into as a genre, as a modern genre. I think that's where we slot in perfectly. Is we are a modern commercial folk band, and they started the genre off for modern day. So I think the current musicians, I really like the music and what they're doing, and they're probably my favourite band at the moment.
Every couple of months, do a gig, and just be promoting it. So if you can sell something out, you can do that every couple of months.
So there is a lot going on, but you've got to go out of your way to look for it and get to know the right people and the right bands.
Yeah.
It's a very hard industry. We haven't stopped. We're always finding new ways to plug things. You've got to think a little bit out the box. Stuff that people haven't already done, or if you found something that somebody else has done, copy it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If it's worked for another band, it'll 9 times out of 10 work for yours. You just got to do your research and keep going. As much as you financially can. I mean, it costs money to do these things, and unfortunately you don't always get paid to do them. But you've just got to keep going, keep investing if it's really what you want to do. You just got to put everything into it, and you've got more of a chance of getting everything out of it.
You got the best of me, and there's nothing you can take from me.